Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. I am back again for another envelope make, and this time we are making this little envelope book, and I am so happy with how this turned out. This is my prototype, so the back is completely plain, so just please ignore that. And the inside has been stuffed full of ephemera, and then we have these two little pockets at the bottom, and it is the most easiest and simple of projects. So let's get started. So you need 4 envelopes in total. I am using C7 envelopes as usual. Again, you can use bigger envelopes, but just bear in mind that I think that this is the finished size is perfect for any size journal, but if you go any bigger it might be too big. So you can obviously experiment and have a play around with bigger envelopes, but for this project I like to use C7s. So all we want to do first of all is make our 2 kind of like pages. So we want to make this and this, and it is as easy as stacking and gluing. That's all it is. So this envelope piece here, I'll just move these, we're going to work 2 at a time. So I just place this piece nice and straight on the desk like so, and then I just kind of wing it really. I don't really measure anything, I just kind of guess. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that 2 squares should be just about enough of a gap, and I think that would create a nice little pocket, and that is literally what I'm going to do. So I am going to glue this piece into place. So I will just apply glue from the second line here on my mat. That's what I'm using as a guide, by the way, and just apply glue all over this base envelope, and then just going to apply this where I've now put that glue, like so. Making sure I haven't stuck down this back pocket here. And that is page 1 done and dusted. Just give it a nice press. And then you just want to repeat that with these 2 envelopes. I just tend to use this one as my template, so I'll just place this to the side of the pre-made one like so, and apply glue, and then pop a piece on the top like so, making sure that both sides are completely equal. You don't want any wonky pages, so just make sure that the bottom pieces are exactly where you need them to be. And we'll just give this a good squish and a good flatten. And that is that. You now have your 2 pages. You could of course make more than 1 or more than 2 pages. You could have a 3rd page and just attach it on this side, but for now I am just going to show you the basics. So all I done to attach these 2 together was cut a strip of decorative paper. So I'm just going to grab a random piece of scrap that I have here like so, and I'm going to use my ruler as just an example, basically just to give me the spine that I need. So I'm just going to rip. It doesn't have to be perfect because it will be hidden. You could even use washi tape if you really wanted to. You don't have to use paper. I just prefer the look and feel of paper. So I'll just chuck that to the side, and that is our strip. We just want to fold this in half like so. If you're using a double-sided piece of paper, then brilliant, you don't have to do this next step that I'm going to do. But because if you have a look here, can you see, you can see slightly the spine that I've used, and all I've done is just grabbed some washi tape, because I don't really want just white to be shining through. It wouldn't look very attractive. So just grabbed some washi tape and stuck it onto the back side of the spine. And you'll see as well that this washi tape does not at all go with the theme of the envelope that I'm making, but it really doesn't matter because it's only a small piece that is going to be seen, so you don't have to worry. Now you can leave it like that and that can be your pattern, but you know me, I do like to ink absolutely everything. So I'm just going to ink down this crease just to kind of tie it in, dull it down a bit so it's not so in your face when you're opening the book. So I'll just give that a nice good ink, and then I'll do the same with the outside piece. Just give it a good ink. There we go, and I'm just going to trim off that white piece because that's not going to be needed. And then all you want to do is just glue your 2 pages that you've now made. You just want to glue them onto this spine that you've just made. So let's crack on. We'll just apply glue. You can use double-sided tape as well if you wanted to, but I like to be able to move these because I do find that I get them in the wrong place, and just want to kind of move them about a little bit, so the wet glue works well for me. There we go, and I'll just put this side on first. So just kind of, I don't want to go right up into the crease because you don't want to interfere with the folding of the spine, so I do leave a little bit of a gap on each side, which is obviously again why I've decorated and inked that piece, but just making sure that they're nice and straight. Oh, like so. And then just trimming off that excess piece at the top there. And there you have the start of your book. And honestly, it's just so simple. So simple. And you have all your pieces in place. I'm just going to trim that there, like so. And now it's just a case of covering your book. So should we start with the inside pieces? Should we cover the insides? So for this project, I think on a couple of other projects where I've made envelope makes, I've never actually covered the inside flap, but because this piece here is going to be on show quite a lot, and these pieces are only ever on show when they're in use, I kind of felt that these should be covered, but not so much these. That again is personal choice. You can choose to decorate absolutely every square inch if you so desire. I am going to use some book page. I think I'm just looking at that one, and I didn't use book page for this piece, but I think we shall give it a go. So let's just grab some book pages. Just make sure that they are big enough, which they are. And again, I've got my template here that is obviously pre-cut, and all I'm going to do is draw around this template like so, and then where's my scissors? I've lost my scissors there. When it comes to cutting it, what you want to do is cut your template completely around your line you've just made. There we go. So we have that like so, and now we just, because obviously it's coming down, you're going to have this piece here as well. You can either just cover just the triangular piece and leave it as that, but I like to cover this base piece as well. So all I'm going to do is just as straight as possible cut down like so. Obviously you don't need to go too far. and then I'll just do the same over here. And then this is going to be too long. It doesn't need to be that long, you can just cut that. Then this will fit perfectly into place like so. How perfect is that? So you just want to do that again for this side and then glue them in. And of course I'm going to ink. Whilst I was inking those two, I was just thinking to myself, do I want to sit and cut out another two and line the inside of these two? I didn't line them on the first one that I made, but I do really like that look. I think it would just tie it all in, wouldn't it, as well? So I think I'm going to cut another two, so bear with. Okay, all four of those are cut and inked, and I'm just now going to glue them into place. So, sorry, I'm currently fighting my fan. It's driving me absolutely mad. It is chucking bits of paper everywhere, but it is too warm in this room to not have it on. So let me just tidy up. Okay, so let's just get these glued down so they can stop being flung around by my fan. You'll see as well I'm using a piece of tissue just to lay down these book page. I didn't want to use my plastic scrapey tool because once I've put glue onto the book page they become quite wet and fragile, so I just want to kind of lightly push them down with some tissue instead. But there we have our fully lined envelopes, so we're just going to fold these back into place. I don't want these. You could leave those up if you really wanted to and stick your ephemera behind, but I don't know, I just prefer this look. I don't know what it is, I just prefer it. And then all I done was decorated all of the insides. So I even decorated these little panel pieces here. Now when I first looked at it I was like, oh god, that's going to be such a pain to do, isn't it? It's going to be so difficult. It really wasn't. So I think I'm going to use that as my cover piece. Yeah, so that's going to be my cover piece, so I'll put that to the side. And then to decorate the inside I'm just going to chop up some random pieces. Is that one or two there? It feels like two, but I think it's only one. So I'll just use this side to decorate the inside pieces. So somewhere in here I have my cut apart envelope, and all we want to do is, the only pieces that we want are these top pieces. So just draw around those pieces. I do obviously come quite big, quite low, because I don't know right at this precise moment the exact size that I need them to be. So I'm just going to cut this like so, just to give me an overall rough shape, like this. And then you'll see that would just make it so much easier for me to kind of say, right, that is where I want to cut. So I'm just trying to get something sharp and not too sharp. So if I get the edge of my scissors and just mark here, then I can cut along that little line. Oh, like so. And there you have the perfect piece to cover awkward areas of your template. So I'm just going to cut those out another 3 times. What I forgot to actually say is that you want 2 sitting this way and then 2 sitting that way, because obviously you've got a left and a right to each envelope, so just make sure that you've done 2 this way and 2 this way. Now you just want to cut those 3 pieces out. And then now that they're cut, I'm just going to give them quick ink. And then we can just glue those into place. And voila! We have those awkward pieces covered, hidden, however you want to put it. But it was super easy, wasn't it? Super easy. Now we just want to decorate the flaps, so we're just going to do the exact same as we always do. We are going to take our templates and just cut around them, if I can find them. Oh, it's there. That's why I'd already had it out. Yeah, just cut around them and glue them into place. So that's all my pieces now cut out. I'm now just going to ink around them all. Okay, now we just want to glue those pieces into place. So I'll really quickly do that. Okay, so that is the inside of your little booklet made, done and dusted, all lined, and then you can just stuff it full of ephemera. So now we just want to make our cover piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this, put some glue on the front all over, like so. And then I'm just going to place this underneath, nice and straight, and place this on top. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but that is what I'm aiming for to be my cover, basically. So we'll just give that a squish. Make sure it's all in place. And then we can just cut around it. I'm going to use my craft knife. And then I'm just going to rip. Sorry, I said I was going to use my craft knife, didn't I? I didn't mean that. I meant I'm going to use my ruler and then I'm going to rip. So I'm just holding it down and I'm going to rip that piece. And this piece along the bottom. Along the side. And then do the same on this flap. Oh, missed a big bit there, didn't I? Just try and get that. I might actually just cut that. Just give it a jaggedy cut because it's too small for me to get in and reach it. So we'll just also rip this piece here, like so. Then you have a nice kind of raggedy edged cover. So it's not perfect. Where's my doorbell? Oh, here we go. And then I'm just going to ink around the edge just to give it a little something extra, like so. And where I've ripped it, and then I'm going in with my ink afterwards, kind of gives it like an old book page kind of vibe, because it kind of softens the edges and it ends up looking quite like an old page. So that's cool. And then yeah, you can obviously decorate the back of this as well, so you can just do the exact same with this. So we'll just glue down a piece of paper over the top. I'm not too fussed about the layout of this one. I don't really care what's on the back because obviously it's the back. So I'll just get loads of glue on there and place this. I would prefer it to be straight, so if we get that straight and then put that on there as well. And then just repeat the process all over again. And just finish it off with the raggedy cut. Like so, and then we'll just pull that sharp piece at the top, and then again just go around with our ink and give it that finished look. And there we go, that is your little envelope book made. Honestly, I love this so much. I think I'm going to be using it in like every single journal I make. I'm just going to rip this off because obviously we don't want too much being seen, and give that another ink. There we go. So there you have it, fully lined envelopes, ready to be stuffed with, don't mind Nelly, ready to be stuffed with ephemera, and then placed inside a book. It can go inside a pocket, it can be glued to a page, and this is what it looks like when it's filled up. I've just put some fussy cuts inside of this. I think it looks pretty cool. Loads of little bits and pieces. And you can obviously decorate the front to your liking. I just added a little label to the front of this one. I'll probably leave this one plain and come to decorate it when I actually use it. But yeah, I am happy with them. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks everyone. Bye.